And welcome back. Ninjas in Pyjamas versus 4 Protect 5. I'm Toby1, and I'm joined by Gareth. This is the Kiev major European qualifiers. In case you hadn't worked out by day 2 exactly what you're watching, or by reading the Twitch title.
Radiant team ban.
Hi.
Dire team
Hi.
ban.
Last game broke me, Toby.
I think it broke everybody.
I mean, Qualifier took an extra like 6-7 minutes to get back into the lobby, just like, I don't know, liquid cool his hands or something after being so heated from spamming tinker
Radiant
rearms and
team
lasers and all that
Let me
shit.
spare. I've got 9 items to juggle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is effort.
Just let me rest, please. Of course, all these games are back to back. They're not like scheduled at 10 a.m., 11
Dire
a.m., 12
team
a.m., 12 p.m. and all that
Yep.
stuff. It is just sequence of games, one after the other,
Radiant
straight
team
after
pick.
the other.
But they're forced to actually start. Like you've got, I think, maximum 10 minutes of downtime between the games, and you still then need to be in the lobby
Ready.
by that time. Everybody ready to go. So it's just like, oh, it's a rough kind of thing, like you have with other tournaments, and then
10
then
seconds
eventually we'll
remaining.
start. It's a crisp schedule.
5 seconds
sure is.
remaining.
All right, so drafting. 4 Protect 5. No Coddle, no Lone Druid, no
Reserve
Spirit, no
time.
Centaur this time around from Nip. This is going to let through the Ogre, which Nip
Radiant
will take,
team
and
pick.
then an Io for 4P5. So our second Io of the 5th stream today.
Yeah, who ran it earlier today? Who did the
It was
IO
our our first game.
Was that Cancel's team?
Yes.
Bean? Yeah, it was them.
10
Yeah.
seconds
The Bean Boys did
remaining.
IO
Yeah,
Ember.
no,
Yeah.
I remember.
I,
Which is hilarious because
Actually,
we're watching
the-
PD
yeah, yeah, yeah,
watching
the-
Io Ember right now on the other stream too.
yeah, PD are doing it. over there.
We have a TV which shows us the main stream.
Reserve
It's
time.
it's a well, they're not going for it just yet. I think
Dire
NRP might
team
risk a
pick.
ban over on the Ember Spirit. It is such a good combination, being able to keep Ember alive in the first 3 levels when he's a little bit weak and his magic damage isn't enough to like solo kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Regen him up, get a couple of bottle charges on him. But then once he gets to like level 3 or 4, when he has a 202
10
build
seconds
potentially with 2 in
remaining.
chains definitely.
Yeah.
You have tower diving potential on pretty much
5
any
seconds
mid
remaining.
opponent, regardless of like supports TPing into react or anything like that. Just because you've got 2 heroes who are
Reserve
tethered
time.
and doing so much damage output.
I'm waiting for the question mark Bantu to come out with the next assassin, or if they
Mm.
want to pick him up right now, just to avoid that.
Darkseer.
No, they go for the Darkseer, so
Radiant team
no real
ban.
space for the Nyx Assassin in the Nip lineup anymore. So it means 4 Protect 5 won't actually have to commit the ban. Because you're not going to run a Nyx 4 and Ogre 5. That doesn't make any kind of sense.
Yeah.
You could run
We've,
it.
we've seen jungle
10
we've seen like
seconds
jungle or
remaining.
support for all Darkseer, but mainly from Southeast Asian teams, where they run like
5
Iron Talon and they
seconds
bounce
remaining.
between lanes, giving Iron Talon to like you basically just give Iron Shell
Yeah.
to everyone while you're
I
farming.
could imagine running like a
Reserve
Nyx and
time.
Darkseer off lane. But then you see the level, so yeah, you have to start him in the jungle. You're right.
But yeah, NIP, I was just thinking now, when we usually have qualifiers, we
Dire
see
team
a
ban.
very set precedent of first bans and first picks.
Mm-hmm.
But NIP have never picked the same 2 heroes in the first phase. They've picked Ogre a lot in the first phase. That's definitely
Radiant team ban.
A staple.
yeah, it's like a line that they follow through. But they pick different offlaners pretty much every game, they've had Centaur twice, but they've had like Slardars, Darkseers, offlane Batrider. Trixie's got a pretty wide hero pool. You're never quite sure where NIP are coming from, and I do
10
wonder after that
seconds
loss
remaining.
they've just had, and realizing that they are middle of the
Dire
table and they're
team
tied with
ban.
EPG to get into like 4th slot. They have to. This is a game they have to win. Like the last
Yeah.
game was like sort of tipping game for both teams. A win is very good for them. A loss isn't disastrous, but games after that, concurrent games, are desperately needed
10
as wins.
seconds remaining.
And we saw NIP beat Alliance yesterday with a bit of a cheesy draft. They're Necro,
5
Venomancer,
seconds
Alchemist,
remaining.
and I do wonder if they'll pull one of these Synderen tricks out of his sleeve this game.
Remember,
Reserve
it's
time.
Qualifier who's the master of the tricks. We can't give Synderen all the
I mean,
credit.
Synderen's the Quickfir's the one pressing the buttons, but I think
You think
Synderen,
Synderen's the
Hani-
brains behind the operation?
Synderen, Hani, and
Radiant
Trixie are
team
all
pick.
very, very intelligent players. I mean, Ira is as well, obviously, but looking from sort of a drafting and team leadership perspective, you definitely put Synderen and Hani up there. And Trixie's the kind of wild card guy, right? He's just like, no, you pick techies.
10
you
seconds
pick this
remaining.
random hero. It's very good here.
Well, we would all pick techies if it was Aladdin side of the
5
pool.
seconds remaining.
It's
Oh yeah,
unfortunate.
didn't actually double check as well. Is Stream Protector in the captain's draft right now?
I believe it's just
Reserve
techies that's not.
Okay. Because I asked the question of Owen yesterday because I'm like, this hero would be perfect in this scenario. Yeah, can you double? I should have double checked that last night, but I just kind of passed out.
Oh no, you're right.
He's actually out?
Treant is not. Techies, Monkey King. I forgot about Monkey King because that hero just annoys me. But Techies, Monkey King, Treant, Protector are the 3 unavailable.
Okay.
Because they re-added Necro in, and I thought they added Treant in at the same time, but I have lagged.
Yeah.
in
I
my
remember
head.
they removed Treant because of his punch, but then they also nerfed his punch quite heavily.
Oh, it's still really good.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna go against that.
Like the amount of times.
But his buff up was almost like a permabash
Mm.
when he was able to get levels. So
Like the amount of times I've played a safe lane hero and my support has gone to like stack and pull at the 30-second mark or whatever, and I've been okay. I'm 1v1 against the offlaner. I can deal with this for a couple of seconds. Then Treant just comes out and smashes me in the face. Like, cool. With
See,
with a bat rider as well.
that's the gift we're gonna have before Kiev. Treant as well as Techies will be allowed into the pool. Ah. After Techies has his
No,
silence nerfed.
They'll let Monkey King in the pool before they'll let Techies in. Techies is just ridiculously good.
Techies is amazingly good. He actually is a team fighter. It's terrific.
It actually reminds me of the old Dota 1 Techies, and I cannot for the life of me remember what team did it, but I think it may have been MYM back in the day, where they would go boots, level 1 Techies with Suicide. And they would just run
I
out a lane
remember
of Suicide. I think it was MYM, but
Warlock.
this was like one of the very first times that Techies was
Dire
picked
team
in
pick.
competitive play.
It's definitely flagging a bell. I
Flagging a bell.
yeah, I just destroyed my saying.
Oh well.
That's not my saying. I don't know. Now I heard the flagging a
10
bell.
seconds
Flagging
remaining.
a bell is mine. It's literally my saying.
5
Literally
seconds
yours.
remaining.
Yes.
Mm.
Well, Warlock is up, so lanes get heavily won. Io
Reserve
and
time.
Warlock. Burning through that is so damn difficult.
We got so much sustain as well.
Mm.
Shadow Word with Tether.
Venom.
Big ulti.
Oh, here we go. Here we
Radiant
go.
team.
The Honey Venomancer jungle is coming your way, boys and girls.
Oh yeah.
And it's so good because like 4 Protect 5 showed both of their supports already. So the ability to actually contest it doesn't exist with those two heroes. And if Batrider leaves the top lane,
10
Venomancer
seconds
already
remaining.
wins. Because he's not going to, like, the fact you get the Plague Wards down, it's not like a
5
simple jungle of
seconds
like, oh, he can
remaining.
catch me when I'm low kind of thing. You've got to go through the Plague Ward army.
So the way to combat this is not to like dive jungle and
Reserve time.
hunt. Obviously, like you mentioned, there's no roaming heroes to really enable that. So they have to look to gain power in other ways. And I think one of the biggest ways is going to be through this Wisp, right? Whether he goes to top lane and dual lanes with a Bat Rider, creates a bit of chaos
10
up there. You
seconds
tether, you
remaining.
napalm. You get the Firefly up once he's level 2. Maybe even towards the
5
mid lane,
seconds
depending on what they pick.
remaining.
Ember Spirit is still out there with that combination, but they go with a Sven. Even more
Dire
combo
team
heavy,
pick.
but this is actually quite scary, I feel.
Sven's going to get kited.
Against the Venomancer, yeah. It's
Like, it would make sense if you had the Darkseer instead of the Batrider on your team or something like that, because then you've got like this big
10
combination you can
seconds
go
remaining.
with the Warlock and the Sven together. You got 2 big AoE stunners,
5 seconds remaining.
but nothing to really tie everything together. Unless you... God.
I was just about to say why
Radiant
would they
team
never why would they not pick Alchemist here? Like this game is perfect for Alk. There's damage over time and damage over time and damage over time, and then Sven who does a bit of burst damage through his ult and like Echo Saber if he goes for it. But Alchemist has like free reign
10
after
seconds
laning stage.
remaining.
And I do wonder now if potentially
5 seconds
4
remaining.
Protect 5 put Batrider mid. Or if they go for
Dire team
something that
back.
matches up very nicely against the Alk. It's a good Timber ban.
Dire team pick.
Venomancer mid.
See, like
Alchemist safe lane.
Nip had Necro with a very similar draft yesterday.
Yeah.
And Necro is also very good here.
10 seconds
Just pick
remaining.
Necro.
The other thing I'll be
Reaper, like-
concerned about is your lack of
5 seconds
like
remaining.
full-on physical. Like what's gonna rip apart the golems? Like what's gonna
Reserve
get rid of
time.
them nice and quickly?
Alchemist. I mean,
Alchemist can just do it
so-
himself.
So what happens is NOP, they go as 5. Everyone except Alchemist cast their spells and then run away.
See, I would look to say, like just say like why don't you just run like a Vengeful Spirit? Then you got a nice easy counter to the Batrider. You can still find that physical damage you're looking for. It's more negative armor you're lacquering on top. Just wins in positioning, wins in damage, wins at life, and then you can give the Aghanim Scepter from the Alchemist to the VS too.
Give me the Era Troll Warlord. Come on.
Uh,
Come on.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, Venge's a good shout, I think.
Yeah,
It does tick a lot of the boxes.
it really does. Because they don't have any, like, right now, straight counter to the Batrider.
See, yesterday when we were watching this draft progress, I automatically assumed that it would have been an era Alchemist because that's what he played, on the old Nip, on the old State Gaming.
Yeah.
And he would play the safe lane Alch with like Armlet, Sanjin Yasha, Blink, and go for the battle build. But yesterday they played it with the kind of regular, normal build with Armlet and Radiance and all that nonsense. But the option is still there to run safe lane Alch and have something different for Qualifier if they want to go that route.
Just to also flag like how much this game still means. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm looking at this hub. We're looking at our thing up there. Is that actually right? Where NIP is 3-1
Radiant
after
team
their win
pick.
they just had. Because I got a faint feeling they
And I play a 3-2.
3-2. That's right, because they lost.
Yeah, they lost.
Yeah.
And EPG and NIP are both 3-2.
So if NIP don't win this game, Cloud9, who I
10
believe just
seconds
took their
remaining.
victory as well, will be able to advance themselves
5
forward.
seconds
Because right now
remaining.
Cloud9 is 4-2, and NIP is 3-2.
Anti-mage.
So if NIP actually have more losses to their name, then they're in trouble. And what the? Are they running an AM mid against the Alchemist, Mr. PM? Are they? This almost looks like the old frickin' Scornet lineup, where they would used to run like
Crystal
IO
Maiden.
Crystal Maiden anti-mage or
Wisp, yeah.
IO anti-mage. But it was back when IO still had the stun, which made it work. So you blink forward, you get the stun,
Yeah.
and then you burn off all the mana. So it made sense then. And it makes sense to sort of zone out the Ogre at the start. But it still feels odd because there's not enough farm on the map for all these heroes.
I'm wondering which matchup's better. Like Sven has Warcry and Cleave.
Oh, you think about putting Io and Sven in the mid?
Maybe,
10
or maybe just a
seconds
Sven.
remaining.
Maybe just Sven 1v1 against Alk. Have Wisp follow the Ogre
5
around and flag when he's
seconds
coming.
remaining.
I think it's like even between AM and Sven. I think you could put either one there.
Whoops. Ba-boom.
But I'd prefer AM safe lane, I think.
Oh, who's on what? So, okay, so it's 5 going bottom. So yeah,
Prepare
it's
for
the AM safe lane. And Slash Strike will take this event into the mid.
Cool. We haven't seen Sven mid since like S4 did it. Back on his first time with Alliance. A long, long time ago. It's one of these heroes that can run out the gates very quickly, doesn't need too many items, and can clear through camps like nobody's business.
I love this.
And I guess since
Look at the warning from NIP. We will protect our side,
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
protect our jungle, we'll protect our stacks.
like Sven is kind of similar in farming patterns to a TA. You know, you shove out wave with Psyblades, but cleave in Sven's case. You stack ancients for yourself, you collect runes, you clear ancients, and that's how you get
30
ahead and
seconds to
an
battle.
advantage over the Alchemist, I think. But I don't know if they can ever gank the Alch. This is more of a, okay, Alch, you do your thing, you jungle your Venom out, you do what you want. We're going to get the same amount of value from our lanes as you are going to get from your lanes. And then we're going to 5v5 and smash each other. I actually don't know who I favor, Toby.
No, I would favor the NIP side.
Just because of Ags
The
over
battle
on everybody.
begins.
Yeah,
Literally everybody.
Yeah. Everyone has a great upgrade they can move into. The laning presence is going to be pushing out most of the time. You understand what you're going to get from the Venomancer in this spot. So you're getting a huge amount of income and a huge amount of levels, and there's nothing that 4P5 can do about it. And then 4P5 draft this lineup, which still requires farm. Like, you need to have a Blink Dagger over on the Batrider to properly initiate. The Warlock needs to get level 6. The Anti-Mage needs to find a lot of farm and then still build Battle Fury and then still build into something more. This Ven has a little bit of presence early on, but it's still not going to be able to keep up with the farm or really stop the farm of the Alchemist. Like, unless they really have success with that early Orb of Venom pickup, which this Ven got, I can push the Qualifier back a little bit further. But it's only going to last for so long. You commit so much to do this, and the overall trade-off is better for NIP, because they're basically running a jungler.
I don't know. That's like lane 1 by Slash Strike. Qualifier is going to have a difficult time. We'll have to ferry himself a couple of, like, not just one salve.
He's an
but-
alchemist.
but this is like 2 salves. Yeah, but you want Brown Boots, you want Soul Ring or Bottle, then you want your Armlet, then you have to have this progression seamlessly move from one step to another. And if you're being pressured in lane like this, you don't have that nice kind of crisp progression. And in the meantime, you've got AM farming bottom lane, which is pretty damn nice for them.
Yeah, but also on the bottom lane, like Warlock, keeping Trixie out is difficult. So the more Iron Shell levels you get, there's a reason why Fire brought so many consumables down here. Even though he'll have Stev Style to help him out with Shadow Word, like he's gonna have an issue once Trixie gets the Soul Ring done.
That Soul Ring's a long way away though. And now they've burnt through all his
yeah.
mana, he might have to go back and Shrine.
Are you even trying?
It's either Shrine or he just bring out an extra 2 Clarities, and then Trixie plays defensive. Like he's coming down because he's looking to get his level 3. If he gets a second level Iron Shell and he puts double Iron Shells on the lane, Fire actually cannot farm. He takes too much damage. The burn is just so heavy. The Shadow Word can't be used for harassment on the Darkseer, it has to be used as defense.
One problem the Sven does have is that without Quelling Blade just yet, the Alchemist is able to get a decent amount of last hits with the help of the Acid Spray.
Oh, hello. Body blocking with the Illusions Qualifier. He's trying to keep Slash Strike away from himself and then get closer towards the Shrine if he does want to trigger it. But he doesn't need to. The bottle, I think, is coming on the courier at the moment. Yeah, it's a full bottle and boots.
So he's okay now.
And Trixie's just about to hit his 3.
And Hani's level 3, nearly level 4. Brown boots up and he's got Ancients to kill. Although these Ancients, they're not fun. They are not fun to fight. They're not fun to kill. They take so long.
He's a Venomancer. He won't care.
I guess they don't aggro onto the wards, hey?
No. Except he's not attacking with the wards.
Yeah.
He's waiting. He's waiting until they came up. I think he did it. He did. Yeah, he did it on purpose.
Stack, yeah.
He did it so he could stack. Smart. Love it.
Clever, Hani.
It's just that odd little thing. It's like, wait, why aren't the wards attacking? Why aren't the wards doing damage to things which are really difficult to kill? And now he's attacking like 1 stack and 2 side camps at the same time. Can you feel the greed?
He's going to get pretty farmed, honestly, from this jungle.
Yeah. Like this farm position, I think I've now just found my new thing of what I'm going to do in every single pub game.
Toby.
Yep, this is going to become a
lane.
thing. Top lane, Bat Rider in a little bit of trouble, copying a lot of damage from Cinder and Era, forced to Firefly himself away.
There was also a fight mid where Qualifier nearly turned around on
They're
the
going to tether up. Cinderan's got 3 sticky napalm stacks on him. Has to go for the secondary stun. Era's got a couple of wand charges as well. If he triggers this, he'll have the magic missile stun, and that keeps Batrider in range of the creep wave and the tier 1 tower. So Era's able to get a return kill, even though First Blood does go the way of the Dancing Dragon.
Still pretty good for
Radiant's
Batrider, you know,
middle
he's
tower is
himself a
under
load of
attack.
gold, finishes off the magic wand. Not going for Tranquils, it doesn't look like, but go back into the jungle if he wants to. The trouble is the jungle of the Radiant team is going to get very congested. You know, you've got Sven and AM who both want to farm the jungle camps. Anti-Mage could think about going the Helm of the Dominator build, but I think, like you said, he wants to focus on Battle Fury into the Manta style.
Yeah.
Try and get that up and running.
And he potentially could, like, the Ring of Health and its progression to Battle Fury is just so much better. And because he needs the Ring of Health up against Darkseer. Love that Observer Ward down. But there's also going to scout the fact that Hani's coming in too. He'll bring his Arcane Boots to give a little bit of extra mana there to Trixie.
Radiant's bottom tower
And
is
they can
under
catch
attack.
Steph Style out the tree line. If there's a point up in fact, which there is not. And no point being saved by Trixie. Rightly so. No Darkseer would go for the early point up in back.
But Trixie still has yet to buy his Soul Ring. This is how much he's been sort of
Yeah.
zoned out of lane and how well.
But
the
this
Radiant are doing
this
so
changes
well.
now. With the presence
Oh,
of
for
with
sure.
level 3 Plague Wards, they actually push the tower and even take the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and Anti-Mage no longer has that free reign to farm and CS near his tower with the lane frozen. He's going to miss out on a CS under his tower as well. He's getting shoved back by the Iron Shell, but this buys so much space for Trixie.
He's just trying to kill Plague Wards at that point. Oh, Hani's leaving again. He's got his camps available, so he's looking to grab the bounties and start the farm again.
Koikva's been given some time as well. The Wisper's, you know, been rotating top, trying to farm the jungle now. Very important that Wisps actually spend time in the jungle because you need your levels. Unlike most supports, it's not the case of, you know, getting level 2 or level 3 and then moving around and being a sacrifice, giving up your experience for the health of others. Wisp wants level 1, maybe level 2, doesn't mind too much, but once it gets to like 6-7 minutes of the game, you need to look for that level 6. You need to start getting towards that relocate and moving towards your urn, very important, and then your mech or your tranquil boots.
It's amazing how many runes are being controlled by Qualifier. I don't think he's actually missed a single rune in the river. And the fact that Synderen just kept him off the bounty rune means the Qualifier gets that too. And the progression. What a perfect, like having the golems in there too.
That's the kind of seamless movement, right? That's the progression, not just in items, but also in map movement here that NIP know the Alchemist needs. And he's up to 2,000 gold, Toby. I mentioned Armlet into Radiance, but he might just rush the Radiance, honestly. We know that the Radiant team have picked these specific heroes to delay the game and, you know, wait a little bit longer, knowing that the Alc has this timing where, you know, 7-8 minutes in he gets Armlet, then 12-13 he gets Radiance, and after that guy Manta Star and Octarine, and everything is, you know, very linear, right?
Yeah.
But this throws that linear progression into a spiral. This is like, right, I suddenly have Radiance. What are you going to do about it? You have to be the ones that come and fight into this. Oh, never mind. He's just bought the armlet.
It's still also really stupid, the fact that, like, a seamless rotation, TP to the tier 2 tower, run past the Venomancer, and Kai is just babysitting the bounty rune. He got both of the bounty runes, Syndrome protects the top, and it's like Kai and Syndrome just been tasked with, like, as long as this our Alchemist will get the bounty runes every single time. He'll move
trying to
up.
kill mid.
He'll, okay.
Armlet gets delivered.
Yeah,
He's
and
got
now
toggles.
killing mid's almost impossible. Unless he's got the Stormbolt. 1 second away until Stormbolt's up. The Plague Lord's going to slow him down, so Qualifier can toggle and just keeps juking around the tree line. So Stormbolt, Qualifier, caught mid toggle. Very, very difficult. But the Plague Lords will make it difficult as well for Dancing Dragon to survive. He's still ticking out to the Poison Sting. They have to earn and give him the life back over. Nobody TP'd over to the shrine. So it's a simple escape.
So close. Qualifier nearly gets away with their bottom lane. No Mana Void from AM just there on the Darkseer, but
I think he understands the level 1 Mana Void is still not enough to get the kill.
It's so trash as an ability, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Qualifier, he didn't rush the Radiance. I think maybe considering it, but Armlet
Now they can find a kill.
nearly kept him alive.
Maybe not. Harney's, I still gotta remember that Harney's not going combat. When he does this, he goes with the 3 points up in the Poison Sting, with the 4 points up in the wards. So there's no Gale, there's no Nova. There's none of this team fight presence. It's all about lane presence and farm rate, which has been pretty impressive because he's almost finished up the buckler already.
And again, they come into pressure the anti-mage.
Yep.
Warlock is trying to leech level 6 up at top lane. Ira hasn't spotted him out or anything. That's a Phase Boots Venge, very quick on her feet, with Helm nearly done as well.
Yeah, Ira's checking the trees. The Step Star finally comes out. So what do you do? Do you bring presence down to the bottom lane to help out 5?
It's hard, right? Because you kind of want to go and pressure Dire Jungle to see if they've got stacks, but I feel like now it's too late because they have no wards in there. They have no way of actually ganking or roaming into that lane. And if they do commit top, then like you're rightfully saying, Anti-Mage is left alone against the Veno and Darkseer and he's getting screwed over by it. But at the same time, do you just leave the Alchemist to farm his jungle and lane at the and collect double bounty runes or triple bounty runes? They're like a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. But they have to commit to something.
Yeah.
I don't think being relaxed and sitting back and letting NIP take over the entire map is going to work out for them. Actually, taking a look at Sven, he's picked up a Windlace and aiming towards Sanjin Yasha. No blink, no armlet for him.
So he becomes the frontline tank and works with the rest of the team just to force an issue with a 4v1.
Yeah, looks like it.
Or a 4-on-1. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like one Animation continues to farm while Sven and the rest of them create issues.
The trouble is they need Warlock 6. And Warlock is still sitting 3/4 of the way through level 5. He's just desperately leeching experience wherever he can.
This Alchemist keeps burning like TPs to get the bounty runes every single time. Hello, Tether in. They bring in Sven. Cinderen's already down. So they're going for more. Up towards Trixie. Stormbolt hits and connects on Era, so Trixie has to create the wall. Cause the chaos underneath the tower. I think Era is really... Oh, okay. He swapped him out. It's Strand / Strike there. Cancelling the relocate at the last moment. So Sven becomes the trade-off for Sinderen.
We'll take that.
So huge for them. Sven now is in this position where, you know, he has no bottle, he's nowhere near a big, like, game-changing item, especially if what he has queued up is what he decides to go for. Whereas Ninjas in Pyjamas, they've now got the Helm done on Venge. They can start 4-manning while Alchemist takes control of the rest of the map and continues farming into these big kind of game-winning items, right? They're not teamfight winning items. They're like game-winning items where he just keeps lanes pushed out, maybe joins 1 or 2 team fights and says, I'm unkillable, I'm going to take a couple of supports with me, and then we push into towers. Because DS, even though he is far behind, and he's not going for Mecha Arcanes, he has kind of been the hero that was let go in this draft. Hani was given a lot of space, but Hani's the one aiming towards the mech. He's the one that's going to be that sustain in team fights.
They've had enough of this. Cinder is not allowed to farm.
That's the only guy they can kill, though. Like, they've just been killing... What's Sin's KDA?
Do we really want to...
0, 3, and 1.
Yeah, okay.
He's 3 out of the 4.
But it's the only choice they had. It's a Warcry, Stormbolt, and Tether. That's the only thing they had to commit to get it. So it's fine. But yeah, the Alchemist is still the problem. Like, he just waits for the... he waits, just waiting. It's a bounty rune pickup. He's always getting his bottle charges from all of this. TP's down, so he'll trigger this. He could potentially just give a couple of charges to Trixie instead of having Trixie go back.
Farms jungle and takes another bounty rune. This is disgusting.
It's a rinse and repeat, though. Like, the TP's off cooldown all the time. It's the only thing he's committing his TP scroll for. He runs up and then TP's to the tier 2 tower, grabs the bounty rune, and continues the cycle.
Last game he was playing Tinker, where it is like a, eat, sleep, rave, repeat kind of thing, where you just do the same thing over and over again. And now he's playing Alchemist and doing the same thing.
Is he actually going to have like a 14-minute radiance?
Oh, yeah.
He's already sitting at 4.2k. Steph's moving up. But at the same time, Cinder and... okay, so Steph's TPing out. The smoke gank is coming down to bot lane, so Steph's TP's down there. He did his run to get the ward up behind. He is 6. Rock is available, but Kai is going to put a Plague Ward in the tree lines in just a second. Okay, no, he puts it to the left.
Warlock's holding 2 points. So he could go double Fatal Bonds here, or...
It would make sense, especially when the stun begins. The Rock will connect, and no Fatal Bonds points just yet. They relocate in. They're going after Cinderin with that relocated Sven. But Ira needs to get out of here. TP supports in. Kai is a little bit further back, but the lasso holds Ira in position. So Rock is committed. They do relocate out.
This is definitely a... Meanwhile, Alchemist, farming land.
And Trixie also taking the top lane.
Yeah.
So Trixie getting this kind of space is going to give him that nice quick mech. And yeah, it is a 1335 radiance for Qualifier. I don't know what it is about like record speeds,
dude. He has
for a radiance, but that's going to be up there.
I mean, it's armlet radiance as well. It's not just the naked radiance that I thought he might have been going for. I think we've seen like a 7-minute Raddy before. I think it was one of the South American teams, like Frankfurt major qualifiers last year, something like that. We saw like a 7-minute rushed Raddy, but this is pretty damn good. This is pretty bloody good.
Swap and they go again. There's no rock available this time around. Animation needs to blink, but he'll tick. The poison's on him.
Oh dear.
Hani will find that kill, and with the catapult behind them, with Ira pushing him with 4 points up with the Vengeance Aura, this is one very dead tier 1 tower, and Qualifier becomes the buffer.
Of course, that was with the old bounty runes and the old Greevil's Greed that gave you a lot more.
Very true.
But yeah, with this current Alchemist, not too shabby timing. And now, this is where MIP get really, really strong, because they have an unkillable Alchemist. They've got auras behind them between Venge, Venno, and as the Crimson Guard done? No, actually, Darksia's going mech. What's the buckler for Hani going into? He's actually kept it as the raw buckler, just a casual buckler, and he's saved up. Oh, he's going for the Crimson. So they actually swapped their item decisions. They're giving Darkseid the mech, and they're giving the Crimson over to
the
Venno. A little bit interesting. I wonder what the reasoning is behind that.
Probably because the Darkseid is still going to naturally go into Greaves. Is where my mind goes for it.
I mean, they're both good. They both got arcanes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I think like after this, I don't know what vote Hani's build is when he goes for this jungle Venno, but having more disable, more control from a Venomancer. I don't know if he wants to go for like a Yule Scepter.
So the last time he played this, he actually went for he went for Greaves Force Staff. But they didn't have a Darkseid that game. They had Trixie on the Batrider, which is just like raw initiation. So maybe this game Hani considers a Veil after this Crimson Guard. Got a fair amount of magic damage. Veil's always...
Relocates on the way. They go in towards the middle lane. The back wall. Steph as well as Ida being caught inside that one. And Trixie, TP out. The rock has to be dropped to cancel his TP scroll. It's a big, heavy commitment, but they should be able to take a tier 1 tower for it. Meanwhile, Hani is going to solo kill the Io. With the Gale connecting on him, there's more than enough slow, and Io just doesn't have the regeneration to survive this.
something else happened, Toby. Bottom lane, Anti-Mage died to the Ogre and Alchemist. They chained their stuns, got a full duration concoction as well, and as the Fire Blast onto him, and AM just got destroyed.
So you don't even lose your mid-tier 1 tower then.
Yeah. I mean, that fight looked good for the Radiant, right? They dropped their ultis, they got a couple of kills, they cancelled TPs, they stopped the retreat. Right, we've done it. We've won a team fight. And then you lose 2 heroes in 2 separate locations at the same time, and you're like, well, overall, we're actually probably at a net loss here, because our Anti-Mage is meant to be free farming, meant to be gaining space and, you know, bridging the gap between himself and Alchemist, because right now, he has half the net worth of Alchemist, and he's 500 gold behind the Batrider on his own team.
And
even Venno's up there.
And now you're going to be a Roshan behind too. Trixie can keep the middle lane pressured in. Qualifier can tank up Roshan. He's running BTs too, so hey, no more expense of a TP scroll every time he picks up a bounty rune. Which is a really horrible way to think about that.
And he's got 2.5k to spend.
Yeah. And he just bought a straight Yasha.
Yeah.
So the Manta is on the way too.
Now, there's a bit of a deviation sometimes after, well, after the boosted travel. Some people go straight for the Octarine for the cooldown reduction on your ultimate. Most people go Manta style then Octarine. But we have also seen players go for Blade Mail after the Manta Octarine. But now, we no longer lifesteal off the Radiant Burn. So it's not as good as it used to be. But it's still pretty good for a tanky old beast like an Alchemist.
There's no fortification right now for NIP, so they're letting the T1 tower go, but you look at top lane, Qualifier is hitting. Okay, yeah, okay, when he toggles up.
High ground?
Oh, is that 280 a hit?
High ground?
High ground, yeah, high ground.
High ground.
It's just 18 minutes in. This is exactly what they did with the last draft, if I remember correctly, when they ran the support Venomancer. Yep. It's just heavy pressure in. That tier 3 tower is already down to half life. Now, Qualifier is not the healthiest person in the world, but he's got the Aegis Immortal, he's got Chemical Rage of cooldown in a second, and Hani is TPing the bottom lane. They're not going to actually take the risk. Trixie may be TPing a little too close, but it doesn't matter. He still gets out.
AM has just bought his Battle Fury. This is when he wants to sit back, relax, kick his feet up, and kill some creeps. And kill some more creeps, and try and get himself the next item, which is the stepping stone to actually fighting into NIP's lineup. But by the point that he has his Battle Fury, Manta Style, and Abyssal Blade, or whatever he goes for into next, maybe the Butterfly is an idea, there's going to be something like a Hex on the Venomancer. Honey's got Force Staff queued up, but honestly, if they get any additional lockdown for this Anti-Mage, he just has no maneuverability in team fights.
Okay, does Nip defend top? The bottom lane's pressuring in quite nicely, so the tier 2 tower's going to take a little bit of chip here.
It's dire top lane tier 1, it's not worth it.
No.
It's like, it has almost no strategic value at all, especially at this point in the game. Like, they've depleted their jungle, Alchemist has used the jungle, and, you know, used it to its full extent. There's no real reason to go and save anything over there. And the worst thing you lose is, like, maybe 3 camps on the western side of that little jungle area, but in the meantime you're taking tier 2, you can swing towards mid. You might want to TP top to defend your own tier 2, but I think by pushing bot tier 2 you're going to force the Radiant back anyway, so they won't be able to push it anyway.
Oh, they keep going. Sven wants it. He triggered God Strength. God Strength has been triggered to take out the tier 2 tower. And where is Qualifier running? Okay, they're just focusing on all the outer towers. Now the TP's finally going to come in, so that's the Alchemist arriving. So Sven, the God Strength, it's still got a little bit more time behind it. But Sven's also up here because the Bounty Rune just spawned. So push the lane, okay, yeah, just take it so he's denied it.
Yeah.
Right now you have almost an 18,000 net worth Alchemist.
Oh.
Like, where's my...
GPM is you. Oh, it's you for me.
Yeah, I'm not looking for that menu though. I'm looking for the other one.
Oh, you want? What do you want?
My menu which doesn't exist anymore. Hang on.
What menu do you want?
It's the... Where is it? My button's gone.
F7?
No, it wasn't that one. It was a different menu.
Tell me what you want, Toby.
And it's definitely not that.
Oh, Jesus, what have you done? Cancel. No, the red button. No, look. Stop. No, at the bottom of that box, there's a cancel button. Yeah, there you go.
That's hidden by the frickin' screen!
Yeah. Welcome to the life of a stats man.
Oh my lord. Yeah, I'll find that button later. Meanwhile, Qualifier taking tier 3 tower.
Did you want this?
What? No.
I have no idea what you want.
No, I wanted the other one, which actually gives me all my information. It's the most useful menu in the entire game. And it's not that.
bottom tower has fallen.
Shows me my GPM and everything else at the same time. Unless Val took nice things away from us.
Tower has fallen.
4-star. He's inside the base now. He forced over the edge.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
With the Plague Lords setting up, they're beginning
Dire's bottom
almost a
tower is
siege.
under attack.
The enemies should push out the bottom lane quite nicely, but Nipper here for the end game. The wall of Plague Lords is up. Qualifier will take continuous damage.
How long does Aegis last, actually? Another 30 seconds?
30 seconds left on him. We'll keep an eye on that. Qualifier just keeps the stun going. Fortification has to be triggered here from the Radiant side.
That's
And he
happened.
dodges the Storm Bolt. Rock will have to be dropped. Remember, Alchemist still
It's
actually
timing.
has that Aegis the Immortal for just the moment. If they let him go a little bit longer, the back the wall. 3 heroes caught inside of it. And the Aegis Immortal will trigger before it times out. You still got the Plague Wars down. Stepstyle's trying to wait this out with the upheaval, slowing down the Alchemist. He doesn't have his chemical ratio on the 10 seconds. Hani, the Nova, well off target. But the Plague Wards are still doing the work. It's keeping the supports of 4P5 away, and they're realizing it. They have to get in there and get rid of them now. But the push begins again.
Yeah, he's got his chemical rage up again. He just goes and hits this melee racks like 5
Batrunner
times.
doesn't even have mana for a lasso. I don't know exactly what he wants to achieve here.
Radiant's
Okay, now he does.
has fallen.
But who does he go on? He can't go on Kuiper, right?
No.
I mean, they can potentially kill him.
And what's the
but-
point now? Like, you're not going to get any stragglers out of this one. You just lost your top racks.
What is the recourse here? Like, what do you even do? It's almost 1,000 GPM on Alk. He's got 920, and he's just going to clear up some more camps, get his next item.
So, doesn't this like beg the question too? Like, how do you approach your draft? Like, when you pick a Warlock as well as an IO up
For
in
your
your first
first
three
three.
pickups, like you're flagging the fact that this type of strat is possible.
I mean, it seemed that 4P5 hadn't seen the game yesterday. Like, they did. When
Yeah.
the Venom got picked up, the Alk didn't get banned, Necro didn't get banned. You know, they didn't kind of follow through on what Nip did the other day with the same kind of lineup. But it also felt pretty drastic with them putting Sven mid and AM bot and having this Whisper rotate around. I don't know if it was... maybe this is a pre-planned strat, right? Maybe they did see the... they likely saw the game. Maybe this is something that they've come up with that they thought could beat it. But it just didn't go as they planned.
Yeah, quite possible. But the contest didn't work. Slash Strike is almost dying right now. Being ripped apart, Nero swaps him back into the middle of the fight. The Shadow Word can't repair that kind of damage. And then you even get a copy of the Anti-Mage Shrine. Must be triggered. As the Plague Wars and Qualifier, like none of NIP are out of position. The Fatal Bonds will connect. So there's 4 heroes tied together with the Alchemist caught in the middle of it all. But with the stuns going out, the Plague Wars taking Slash Strike out of the fight. He's being kited to no end. And Batrider, even on the run, the Radiance Burn may kill him at this point. This game looks over. Like, it already looked over to start with, but Kuiper is just ultra killing them underneath, almost a fountain. GG it out.
they're trying to
24
chase him.
minutes and we're back on schedule.
They're trying to chase him back into their own fountain. Kuiper just turns and slaps him down with the big old swords. The butchers, cleavers, and NIP. That puts them in a pretty good spot. Not just you know, points and group wise, but I think mentally after their previous game, this is just like a sigh of relief. Right, back on track.
Yeah, the last game was insanely hard for them. This one, the draft worked. There was no real counter to them. They got to play their comfort zones, and it was just a rolling through the
He
motions.
hit 1,000.
He actually got 1 kg. Let's flag it up.
1,011 GPM on
You know,
Kuiper.
I don't need this shit.
How long did the game last, actually, Toby? Was that a 25-minute game?
Just shy of it, I think.
Because he had 25,
Wait,
very close to 25k.
it tells us here,
net worth.
24.31.
So he had a lot of money. Toby.
24.31, 1,011 gold per minute. The Alchemist is solid. The whole team was solid. And we'll go to another game in just a bit. I'm actually tagging out right now because I think it's Shiva and Owen.
Cool.
I think you're coming in next to cast. So, yeah, more games coming up in just a bit. So stay tuned on the stream. They're coming your way just after the break.